These models may look fabulous on the runway, but behind the scenes, they're not always the angels they appear to be. Renowned model and reality TV star Kendall Jenner is no stranger to controversy. In 2017, she starred in a widely criticized Pepsi commercial where she was depicted defusing tensions at a peace protest by offering a can of Pepsi to a police officer. The commercial was immediately accused of appropriating elements of the Black Lives Matter movement and trivializing its message. Pepsi pulled the ad after only a few days, with a spokesperson telling the New York Times, "We did not intend to make light of any serious issue." Meanwhile, Jenner got emotional while addressing the controversy in an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
I feel really bad that this was taken such a wrong way and that I genuinely feel like
Just a year later, Jenner caught more heat following an interview with Love magazine, during which she made some privileged comments about being selective with her modeling career. She proclaimed, "I was never one of those girls who would do like 30 shows a season or what those girls do. More power to them, but I had a million jobs, not only catwalks, but everything else." The comment was immediately met with fury from fellow models, who emphasized how crucial it is to book as many runway shows as possible for the sake of their livelihoods. On X, formerly Twitter, Jenner suggested her comments had been taken out of context, stating, "It was intended to be entirely complimentary." In the 90s and early 2000s, Tyra Banks ruled fashion. From the catwalk to our television screens, the model was inescapable and hugely influential. In 2003, Banks created the successful reality competition show America's Next Top Model, which lasted for 24 cycles and 315 episodes. Though still seen as a cult classic, in recent years, ANTM has received its fair share of criticism. Many former contestants, such as Kaylin Rondeau, Shandy Sullivan, and Lisa D'Amato, have alleged that they experienced humiliation and trauma during their time on the show. In a since-deleted blog post, Cycle 1 winner Adrienne Curry even claimed that she was never given the contract with Revlon Cosmetics or representation by Wilhelmina Models she was supposed to receive. A spokesperson for Banks declined to comment on Curry's accusations, but told Entertainment Weekly that some aspects of production were beyond her control. But this only touches the surface of the accusations. Several contestants, such as Angeli Preston, have accused the show of starving contestants and dehydrating them for the sake of drama. Of Banks, Preston told the Daily Mail, "When the camera stopped rolling, it's like she's a stranger." Banks spoke to Chicks in the Office in 2020 about the show's many on-screen missteps, but not necessarily its alleged behind-the-scenes issues.
I've apologized for it, and we're going to apologize again and keep apologizing because it was wrong.
Gisele Bündchen first joined Victoria's Secret in 1999 and has since built a long and fruitful legacy, becoming one of the richest models in the world. Still, she is not immune to making polarizing comments. On several occasions, Bündchen found herself at the center of controversy due to her remarks about breastfeeding. In a 2010 interview with Harper's Bazaar, Bündchen expressed that it should be a worldwide law for mothers to breastfeed for at least 6 months. The comments came 7 months after the birth of her son, and she was already back to modeling bikinis. She said, "I think breastfeeding really helped. Some people here think they don't have to breastfeed, and I think, are you going to give chemical food to your child when they are so little?" From what the model describes, her first experience with motherhood was somewhat ideal, and many were infuriated by what they viewed as Bündchen's ignorance and privilege. She eventually backed down. In a since-deleted blog post, she wrote, "It's unfortunate that, in an interview, sometimes things can seem so black and white. I am sure if I would just be sitting talking about my experiences with other mothers, we would just be sharing opinions. I understand that everyone has their own experience and opinions, and I am not here to judge." British model Rosie Huntington-Whiteley began her career at 16, appearing in campaigns for Levi's, Abercrombie & Fitch, and DKNY, before being signed to Victoria's Secret at 19. A few years later, she became an official angel, taking part in the annual runway show for 5 consecutive years. Known for her full lips and double-barreled name, Huntington-Whiteley quickly became one of the most recognizable faces of the brand. However, she soon developed an interest in acting and would ruffle some feathers along the way. In 2010, tabloids pitted the model against Megan Fox after she was cast to replace the actor in the third Transformers movie. Unaware of the drama between Fox and franchise director Michael Bay at the time, Huntington-Whiteley auditioned for and secured the female lead role. However, in an interview with Next Movie, Fox refused to be baited and had nothing but nice things to say about the model who replaced her. In 2012, a source told Page Six that the model-turned-actor caused drama on the set of Project Runway All-Stars when she allegedly pulled out of the hosting gig at the last minute for her role in Mad Max: Fury Road. The source told the outlet, literally days before filming, the show suddenly had no host. Rosie had been pushing really hard for the job. She'd charmed everyone. The insider also suggested that the Weinstein Company threatened to sue the model despite claims that she never signed a contract. Throughout the years, Victoria's Secret has faced several controversies and allegations of racist behavior involving some of its models. One of their earliest scandals was in 2010 when the brand sent black models down the runway in animal print looks, with fashion and body paint inspired by those of indigenous cultures. The title of that segment, Wild Things. Since then, a couple of Victoria's Secret models have been accused of casual racism, but in 2017, a behind-the-scenes video at the Victoria's Secret fashion show accidentally exposed a few of the models casually using a racial slur. The now-deleted video shows a group of models happily rapping along to Cardi B's Bodak Yellow and failing to skip over a racial pejorative used in the track. The only person in the clear was Devin Windsor, who was facing the camera and skipped the entire line of the song. Jezebel theorized that the surviving video might have been taken from Karlie Kloss's personal blog. However, following the backlash, the model edited the controversial line out before taking the video down altogether.